Yankees Mets played this weekend. The Mets won the series. Although it was more, I would rather win the series when both teams are playing well, as opposed to when one of the teams is playing really poorly. I think that's more impressive. That's just
You're like alone on the standpoint there. I mean, I'm all for piling on the Mets and discrediting them, but I'm not going to say that they shouldn't be happy about winning the series.
No, I'm just saying it's more impressive to win when both teams are playing well.
Sure, I suppose.
I'm not going to discredit. They won the series. Good for them. But the Yankees weren't playing their best, so call it what it is.
I mean, I don't even know what the Yankees' best is anymore.
It's not very good. It's not good enough. Mets 4-2 since the last show. 2-1 versus Milwaukee. 2-1 versus the Yankees. 52-38 overall. They're 1 game back of Philly. 2.5 up on the wild card. They're 5-5 in their last 10. I don't know if the Mets, what they need to do, because their pitching staff this weekend, it seems piecemeal. Senga's coming back on Friday, I believe it is. Manaea, they're saying, is eventually going to come back.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a rotation that can hold up much longer. It's kind of duct taped together.
I think they've done a great job for the first half of the season, but they need to acquire 1 to 2 starters.
Not back-end starters. They need actual
I think you could do fine with a depth piece and a guy that you believe could be if you got DeGrom and just some rant. Well, I'm just saying you could be fine with I even think if you just went out and got Heaney and Severino, you'd be fine.
See, I was thinking Heaney and a Zach Gallen.
Yeah, Gallen would be better than Severino in my estimation. Right. So, but I do think at this point in the season, and because I want to talk about it with the Mets before I just sound like a really privileged complaining Yankees fan. I think if your team is World Series viable, when we talk about what you need at the deadline, it's not what you need to potentially go on a run. It's what you need to be viewed as a World Series favorite. Not the favorite, but a favorite. And if the Mets went out and really boosted up this rotation, that would get them back to where we were talking about them in May and June as perennial favorites to go to the World Series and win this division. Right. So I just want to clarify here that for the team talk, when we talk about Mets, Yankees, and Phillies, when I say need, that's where I'm going to be addressing.
I think that's a really good classifier because all 3 teams are teams that should make the playoffs. So we're not talking about making a run to get to the playoffs. We're talking making an actual run in the playoffs.
Yeah.
What they need to do. I think the Mets also could use a catcher.
Yeah, I don't think that's I like Alvarez, so I don't think
I do too, but I don't like him this year. I think this year is.
If I was the Mets, all of my focuses would be on that starting pitching. I think the lineup proved last year what they could do in a playoff run, and now you add Juan Soto to it. So I would feel really good if I was the Mets about just go get 2 starting pitchers and fill out a rotation for come playoffs. Again, you only need 4 starting pitchers like Senga. We'll see where Manaea is at. How much faith do you have in Holmes? Ideally, you'd like to move Holmes to the bullpen to be a long reliever just because he could play that role. Obviously, playing relief for the Yankees for all that time. I like Peterson, so I don't completely mind having him, but how do you trust the health of Manaea and Senga? I would like to get 2 arms just to at least have a buffer.
And then
one of them has to be a guy that you trust to throw playoff innings.
Then obviously every team that is looking to make a World Series run just needs bullpen. There's no such thing as too many bullpen arms.
No, absolutely not. They're fine at closer with Edwin Diaz.
Yeah.
They're fine there, but they just need some middle arms, and need is a strong word. I think that they have find guys at the bullpen, especially when you consider the fact that like they would be moving a Clay Holmes to the bullpen. A Tyler McGill could come out of the bullpen. Obviously we mentioned Diaz has been really solid for them. AJ Minter in some short work has been decent for them if they could have him out there for the playoffs. So I think that they have a decent bullpen, but again, like you mentioned, you can never have too many arms.